right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Something Super Podcast. I'm Steve,
Now, Mark,
and Jay might be joining us in a little bit. He's always running behind. So, guys, this week, obviously, the big topic, hot button on the internet is the Wandavision season finale. So, we wanted to cover that, how things tie in with the past couple episodes that we haven't covered, and sort of go from there. So, Mark, since you have a controversial thought process on this, what is your hot take for the season finale?
I had a couple hot takes for the season finale. My biggest one being that I know a lot of this anger is just from a lot of build-up expectations that no one ever really said. They were all fan theories, but they were all really, really good fan theories that everyone really, really, really wanted to see. For me, the big one was Pietro being Ralph. Like this whole season, they just tease like Ralph and the devil's in the details, and that's not the only place the devil is, and yeah, my husband Ralph, but we never meet Ralph, and she's always got that fucking rabbit she's petting. And it turns out it's none of them. It's actually the fake Pietro. It was Ralph the whole time.
Ralph Boner.
Yeah,
Thanks, MCU, for dropping a fucking dick joke.
yeah, well, they're owned by Disney. What do you expect?
Yeah, what are you gonna
do? But I don't know. To me, it's if you're gonna leave that many breadcrumbs, that he actually is from the other universe. You got Doctor Strange in the multiverse coming out. He has the super speed, which apparently he only had because he had the necklace that Agatha was controlling him with. You had so many of these great little plot points to where we're like, oh, cool, he's just brainwashed him from another universe. But nope, that would just that irked me so bad.
I wonder if during the pitch meeting they were like, yeah, no, his name's Ralph Bonner. The soft H.
No, they were literally probably like Boner. It's gonna be Boner.
Oh, but absolutely. Well, if the Gunn brothers had anything to do with this, you already know that. But all right, so I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little upset about that as well. I was really hoping for a multiverse crossover, and you know how Marvel is; they lean really heavy into these Easter egg-esque things. So obviously, we know Doctor Strange in the multiverse is coming out. It's not lost on us that there will be a multiverse. I think they, as the writers and producers, knew that we were gonna really dig into that theory as well as the Mephisto theory that we have covered a million times over, and I could sit here and talk about it for hours. They wanted us misled on purpose, and I think it's awesome. I'm okay with it only because of that. They wanted me to believe something that made sense canonically in the comics, the whole nine, and they were like, nah, slap in the face, see you later.
You would have almost thought that this was a DC production.
Yeah, right.
But almost. But no, I mean, honestly, I've been doing some research into the episode. I've watched it again, and it's growing on me because, like me and you were talking about earlier, it gives a nice conclusion to Wanda and Vision's story in Westview. But now it's leaving the breadcrumbs and the Easter eggs for what's going to happen further on. You have White Vision just takes off. Who knows where he's going? Maybe the West Coast to start the Young Avengers, I believe it is.
Yeah, the West Coast Avengers.
The West Coast Avengers. You have Wanda, who, when she was talking to, oh my God, what's her name?
Catherine Hahn's
Monica. Oh. She was talking to Monica at the very end, and she's like, I don't understand these powers, but I want to learn. Now, there's two ways that might be going. So I'm wondering if maybe her initial plan is to go to Doctor Strange to see if she can learn about her magic, because who the fuck else would you go to but the expert?
Yeah.
And maybe something ends up happening there, which then she becomes the villain. Maybe he doesn't know all the details of what happened before. Maybe Agatha comes back or whatever happens. Or literally it's just going to be she learns from the Darkhold, and that just fucking mentally warps her mind to using more of the dark magic, because that's what Agatha used, was dark magic. So she now absorbed that into herself as the Scarlet Witch, which, by the way, perfection.
That was the greatest cliffhanger.
The cost. No, I'm just saying, not even cliffhanger, just when she when she absorbs everything and you finally see the new costume. I think it looks perfect.
Yes, it was a very MCU comic related outfit. They took what was the, Sokovian fortune teller outfit and made it MCU real world. And I couldn't agree with you more. It looks awesome. It's fucking badass.
And like it makes the Halloween episode so much better because it's like they're paying homage to the comic book version, but now they're like, look, here's what you got. And I mean, she looks badass. Like she's gonna do damage in the
Oh,
MCU.
absolutely. And that,
And
she's already, like they said, more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme. So, we got our. I wasn't completely correct by saying that Doctor Strange was going to appear, but I'll take my
got name
reference.
dropped.
Yeah, I'll take a half a point for that.
They got name dropped. But don't worry, it could be worse. It could be like my Magneto theory that absolutely did not even come close to being true because
I would have appreciated that though. It would have been awesome.
I didn't even want much. You could have even just had someone be referenced as Eric. Maybe Eric lived in the town.
Yeah.
You know what I
Or
mean? Like have him be like a townsperson, just Eric Leshner,
yeah, right.
just getting his groceries.
But I mean, just the whole thing was masterful. Everything from the previous episodes. I mean, again, for you, you loved the reveal of the Scarlet Witch's new costume. One of my favorite things in the last few episodes was just the name drop alone. Like that, it'll give you chills. Because again, we said this before, it's never been used in the MCU, the name Scarlet Witch. We know she's the Scarlet Witch because we know who Wanda Maximoff is. That's about it. We know who Quicksilver is because we know who Pietro is. But they never used their like superhero names. And it took this show for me to realize, like, holy shit, like they really haven't. And I'm cool with it. Like the last words of that episode, that makes you the Scarlet Witch. Boom, mic drop. Holy shit! And Catherine Hahn did phenomenal with that character.
Dude,
She crushed it.
I'm gonna tell you right now, when award ceremony time comes around, if her, Paul Bettany, and freaking Emily Olsen are not in like nomination talks, like for anything, whether it's Golden Globes, whether it's you name it, whatever it is for like TV shows and movies, whatever ones there are out there. I know that there's thousands and thousands of awards. Their names aren't coming up. Like I'm done. I give up. Like
So what I think was super funny is you and I had these like lofty predictions as far as who was going to cameo in the last episode. And Paul Bettany in an interview was like, I'm working with somebody I've been looking forward to working with for, forever. Well, like he made this whole thing out to be, he's looking forward to working with this person. So like, obviously he's worked with Doctor Strange before. He's been there, he's done that, which made your Magneto theory that much better because it's going to be a new character. That's exciting. Paul Bettany worked with himself.
and he even said that too in another interview. He's like, you know how mad people are gonna be when they find out that the cameo was me? And everybody thought he was kidding. Everybody was like, oh, that's a funny joke. And he was like,
Him and him fighting. Like, I mean, it was awesome. I loved the concept of White Vision. I've seen all the fan theories online, and I can sort of agree with them because it was made by Stark. So having the arc reactor in his head instead of the Mind Stone, giving the arc reactor blasts, that would make sense too. It things sort of align. It's a mini arc reactor, so I guess the entire point of it is just to power Vision's Mind Stone power. Like the laser beam. I guess I don't know if it empowers his whole body or not. Whatever. The callback to the comic book accurate, well, sort of comic book accurate. Oh my god, why can't I think of his name? Speed with the blue glasses. I liked that. Then Billy and Tommy really showed their powers and sort of doing their own thing. I liked that as well. There was just so much about this episode that I was okay with, and I really enjoyed. Sure, things could have probably been a little bit better, but I'm not going to get nitpicky.
for you guys listening out there, we should probably tell you now this episode will contain some spoilers, just a couple.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you haven't watched this episode by now, we have a rule in our friends group. If you haven't watched it by Monday, it's too late, and this will be posted on Thursday. So it's now Thursday. It's been almost a week. You should have watched it. Also, the title of the episode will be Wandavision season finale recap. So if you haven't seen it, we probably shouldn't have been watching this or listening to this anyway. So just throwing that out there. But for those of you that have, feel free, if you're on Facebook, Instagram, etc., or hell, anything. I think you can leave us messages on Anchor. let us know what you thought. Like, we want to hear what you guys think as well, because your opinions matter just as much as ours. I mean, that's literally what this show is. So, yeah, I mean, we want to hear. We want to hear from the listeners.
What was your favorite or least favorite part of this episode? If you had to pick one high point and one low point, what were they for the finale?
So my let's, geez, the high point. I want to say like the final reveal of the Darkhold, and then the Wanda super fast sneak up scene where she like brings Agatha back in time, and then they all turn on her. I just thought everything about that was well done. It played well into the entire, like, her role in the MCU, I guess would be the easiest way to put it.
Took her back to her roots.
Yes. My least favorite is probably finding out that Ralph was Quicksilver, or, you know, Ralph is Ralph technically, because he's not really Quicksilver. It was just like you said, it was sort of a letdown. But again, I don't really know what to expect from Marvel anymore anyway. I mean, Christ, they could have put out trailers for the show and it could have been literally nothing to do with this show. So I'm at least glad we got what we got. And what about you?
So I agree with you with the low point. Definitely the fact that, like Ralph was Pietro this whole time, because I really thought there was a lot that they could end up doing with that relationship right there. And I even liked some of like the banter back and forth between like Wanda and Pietro, like when they were having conversations, like, yeah, Pietro wasn't afraid to get, and that's the other thing too. Like, does Ralph know Wanda's past then?
No, so I think
Or
he
was
was
it
more
just
like
all through
a
the
meat
necklace?
puppet. Yeah, I think he was more like a meat puppet for Agatha, and Agatha's fully aware of what's going on.
Okay. See, and that's where I was curious because I was like, okay, that didn't make sense. But for me, for without me with the high point, I would say I had two. The first one is when Vision's fighting the White Vision, they stay true to Vision to where he doesn't want to be a weapon. He doesn't want to fight. Like literally, White Vision like punches him in the face. He's like, "Can't we discuss this peacefully?" Like, excuse me, kind sir.
Yeah, he's awesome, especially in that fight. Like you said, the entire fight was him being on the defensive.
Right.
He did what he needed to do to protect himself, obviously, but he was trying to de-escalate the situation the entire time.
Absolutely. And then the second high point for me is a two-parter. So first part was her just saying that she was stronger than the Sorcerer Supreme. Now, I don't know if that's Doctor Strange or the Ancient One because I don't know how much Agatha knows. Like, would Agatha have been able to sense the Ancient One's death? Like, or like, I don't know how that would work because Agatha clearly could sense Wanda using her magic. So can she also sense other people losing their magic? So I don't know the extent of her knowledge as to what's happened in the Doctor Strange storyline. So, but either way, the fact that, then they build onto this and you see the first part when she's fighting Agatha in the sky, like they show how powerful she is. So she's literally just forcing all of her power into Agatha to where the original Coven witch is like just shriveled up and died. Like Wanda still had fight in her ready to go. And that was after giving like 50% of her power to Agatha. Then on top of that, you see how quickly she's picking things up. She set up runes within the actual hex to trap Agatha and everything like that. She literally turns her into her own puppet and just taps her on the head. And she's like, ha, ha, like you're going to be the nosy neighbor now. But then at the final post-credit scene, now in Doctor Strange, we've seen them go into astro projected forms. However, anytime the Sorcerer Supreme or Doctor Strange did it, they were asleep, they were unconscious, like they were incapacitated. Wanda is walking around just making tea and living her daily life in the cabin in the woods while also reading the Darkhold in the back room as the Scarlet Witch. Like she's able to do that, and that takes so much concentration. And I'm wondering if that's where we're going to start getting multiverse because she would have to split her conscience there. But since she's a Nexus being, she's the same in every universe. So I'm wondering if the reason why they're the way they're going to do in the MCU is the reason why is because she creates all the universes. So she creates everything. She would stay the same in everything, but everything else might change here or there.
Yeah, I mean that theory in theory holds up. Uh, I'm
I'm done
excited to
making
see.
theories. That's just my guess.
Oh,
Like,
Listen, man, I don't care. I don't care that the Mephisto train that I was riding got derailed. It will eventually catch tracks somewhere else, and I'm fine with that. We will see. I promise you, Mephisto will be coming.
I mean, with
Uh,
the way they left that off with her hearing Tommy and Billy screaming for help, if
yeah,
they don't do that, like they better bring at the very least Nightmare if they're not going to do Mephisto.
I'll take Nightmare or Cthon, the Chaos God. But either way, somebody's holding Billy and Tommy hostage, or they're in some sort of dire trouble, and that's why like she could hear them screaming through the multiverse. And I think that they're her children in a different universe, and she's going to travel there and get them and save them, hopefully. And yeah, so that will be our Doctor Strange when that eventually comes out. We're obviously going to cover that. So yeah, I don't know. I can't say enough good things about it. I'm excited for Falcon and Winter Soldier in 2 weeks. Again, this could be a crazy fan theory, or maybe the casting agency screwed up, but the agency that cast out a lot of the actors and actresses to this show put on their cast list that some of these people are going to be back for a 10th episode. Now, again, that could be them screwing up entirely, or whatever. It could just be a I mean, it realistically could be a typo. But if they come back for a 10th episode this following week, I'm cool with that. Uh, guys, Jay just joined us. Welcome. Oh, Jay's not ready. It's okay. I'm going to keep talking for right now. So again, 10th episode would be cool. If not, I'm fine with that. We need a week break between that and Winter Soldier and Falcon anyway. But the trailers that I've seen for Falcon and Winter Soldier look awesome. I'm excited for the quote unquote buddy cop MCU movie series.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. Like, I like the way that they tied up like Westview for the most part. Like, there's nothing else there now except for Agatha. Other than that, I mean, they cleaned up that story, and now we can move on. So, what I'm kind of curious of, or well, not curious of, but something that I did notice, and it could just be another hex thing I was telling Steve about, was when the coven was originally trying to take out Agatha, there was 6 witches plus her mother. So the 6 witches originally are the ones that attacked. The mother just kind of watched. Also, I wonder if there's any kind of like relation between her mother's blue crown and Wanda's red one.
I so I was well, not concerned. I was wondering about that because hers is more like a crown of like thorns, I guess would be the easiest way to put it. Like it had spikes on it, and then Wanda's is obviously the big M. But I'm sure it goes literally just to say like that's like the strongest being of that group. Maybe like like Agatha's mother was like the queen of that coven, or I don't know what rankings are in covens because I'm not a witch, but I was actually
Maybe you
hoping.
are.
I'm a wizard.
That's what a witch would say.
Shh.
He makes a valid point.
I'm gonna sneak up behind you. Oh, there's Jay. So,
Oh, hi.
so I was hoping that when Agatha stole her mom's power, that she would have that the full crown on her, but maybe purple. That would be cool. But I'm gonna take what I can get, and I'm all right with what we got. All right, Jay. So since you already missed out on the beginning part, what was your favorite and least favorite part of the finale? I know we're asking those hard questions.
Yeah.
Today, Junior.
All right, fine. Did you dislike anything about the finale?
Did you watch the finale?
Yes, I watched the finale.
Damn, I thought you forgot how to talk.
Oh, God.
I mean, give me anything at this point. What do you got for me?
It could be Agent Dickhead trying to shoot the children at the end. It could be Pietro being Ralph. It could be Darcy taking him out in the fucking ice cream truck. It could be whatever. Like, what did you feel?
I did hate fucking Agent douchebag trying to kill kids, but it was kind of dope how the kids saved themselves, I guess.
Well, Monica saved them. Wiccan caught the one bullet, but
I did like seeing Wiccan's power though. Like, again, we saw him do the mind read thing before, but this was like power.
Well, he actually sees the future in the finale.
Yeah,
because he sees like everything going on, and then sees Wanda choking all the townspeople, and then it cuts to the scene where she's choking all the town, like where she does it. And it's similar to in Age of Ultron when Pietro dies and she just like releases out her power. Like she clearly still doesn't control it when she's super emotional.
Oh yeah. And that's what I think the Darkhold's gonna sort of fix. She's studying magic because Agatha literally made a point to tell her, like, you don't know shit about magic. You're dumb. So I'm glad she took the route of like, I'm gonna learn this shit and I'm gonna be the best damn witch on the goddamn universe.
Yeah.
All right, Jay. What did you think of the Ralph Boner reveal? Pietro. God damn it, Jay.
Oh. I feel like I missed something there then now.
Oh, man. Jay.
That was like the biggest reveal of the episode. How did you miss it? It was an
Oh
entire like 5-minute scene. Like there was so much to it. They literally went to it, cut to back to the main story, and then cut back to it just to drive home. Like this is not Pietro. You didn't.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, I feel like I'm missing something here then. I knew that. I figured that out, that it's not actually Pietro.
Yeah, because
they told us.
Not.
Jay, you're the greatest detective in the world. You're like Batman.
Bro.
Oh, man. Yeah.
But anyway, Jay, what did you think about that reveal? That it wasn't Pietro all along?
I was kind of shocked considering the fact also that Agatha even talked about it. She was like, well, I couldn't get your actual brother because he's across the ocean or some shit.
Yeah, she does say that. She says he's on another continent with holes in him.
Yeah. Wow. I was kind of shocked by that, so I kind of figured they just went into the whole X-Men universe to bring in that version of Quicksilver, but
that would make sense. And
that's what they alluded to, and then they just didn't
shit on it.
Yeah,
just shit on that whole idea.
Well, and again, this is the multiverse. So unless you're a Nexus being, you are different in each universe. So Ralph in this universe is Ralph, but in the other one he is Peter. So there is a Quicksilver version of Evan Peters. I should start calling him Evan Pietro.
Pietro,
you fucking turd. I was so upset about that. But whatever. Also, can we just talk about like the Agnes that was going to be living back in town? So like Agatha with her fucking, witch robes and cloaks and shit, look like a little badass. And then the creepiest smile ever on Agnes after she changed her back. I was like, oh my God.
She had her brooch on too still.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, that's part of her.
She got dealt her punishment she deserved. You want to be the nosy neighbor? Fine. Fuck you. I'll make you a nosy neighbor.
I'm curious.
I think it's an act.
Yeah, I think it's very similar to that whole like Vision thing where she's like, oh my God, I was at the edge of town. Like she knew that she needed to go to that point in town and it would draw Vision there because there's a random car when everyone else is just standing in their yard like, fucking Tin Man. And he played right into that shit. But huge fan of the Ship of Theseus with Vision and White Vision.
He's in the paradox.
Yeah, if you replace every plank, is it still the ship? And like White Vision was like, God damn it. It's like, you're more Vision than I am. Like, you're actually made of Vision. I'm just a construct. Are any of us real, man?
Well, he even says he's like, both are the ship. None are the ship. Like, It's like that episode of Futurama where they use it on Robot Santa.
Oh yeah.
Fucking head explodes.
I love the concept of it because it really did make him think. And then he gave him all of his memories back. So we are going to see White Vision. We have to see White Vision again. Like there's no doubt in my mind. I think Wanda's going to find him. They haven't introduced any characters similar to the comics, so I don't know how he's going to get his color back, but he'll get his color back. I look forward to that. Paul Bettany's not done yet.
Spray paint.
Yeah. What'd you do with the vibranium? I spray painted it. I'm gonna get Ralph to do it.
But no, I mean, how'd you feel about their farewells? Them tucking the kids in. Also, what did you think of the line, "Thank you for choosing me to be your mother"?
Oh. So that led me to believe that Wanda knew from like the get-go that she wasn't the actual mom. Like she wasn't really pregnant. I think she was really trying to convince herself in the long run.
I concur.
Outstanding.
Wait, thanks, Jay.
But no, like really, how did you guys feel about like the actual farewells? Like you
Oh
had,
my god, it was
you know,
fucking
like,
emotional.
yeah, like Vision with Wanda saying like, you know, you're
Can't see
the
mine
memories
dark.
are the part of the Mind Stone that are within me. Like literally, you see the boys get. You obviously know the boys, quote unquote, die off screen because they're upstairs in the bed. But even just think about like Wiccan. Like if he can see the future, like do you think he saw that coming and he just didn't say shit to scare his brother?
He might have. And another flip side to that is if Wiccan is not, we're not gonna say all seeing like Wanda, but if he is conscious of the multiverse, he might have known that they may go to bed here, but they're gonna wake up somewhere else. And he was okay with that. But what I don't think he did see was that the other body that he was going to wake up in may have been already in the clutches of Mephisto. I'm dying on that fucking hill. I will die on the Mephisto hill.
I think he's coming. I don't fucking know when, and I'm done trying to figure that out.
Yeah, well, I mean, that I forget what the dude's name was that Doctor Strange like paradoxed into losing, and he like annoyed the shit out of him.
Oh, that was all.
I off the top of my head cannot think of his name, but yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like they've brought out titans of the universe already. Like Mephisto's not a big deal. Just drop his ass. Let's go. Make it happen. Marvel. God damn it. But, you know, the whole tie into the Spider-Man Far From Home thing was pretty cool. Where the teacher thinks everything that is happening in the world is witches. Everything that could be explained otherwise, it's witches. And this is the reason why.
You're talking about Dormammu.
Dormammu, yes. So, but yeah, I mean, I can't wait for phase 4. I know it's going to be over the next like 3 to 4 years. I'm cool with that. I've been in it since 2008, so let's make it happen.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm just really curious what this means for the future of Wanda, because like, are they going to take her to past the point of redemption to where like how could she ever be an Avenger again? And like because we all know how Marvel deals with their villains, it's usually like one and done movies, which is something else I didn't like. It's like Marvel, you know, people critique you for the way you treat your villains. You finally you pull off a twist. I mean, obviously everybody knew it was Agnes, but for people that don't read the comics, like that's a great turn in the story that you don't see coming. Mm-hmm. Like with the twist, but I don't know. For me, it frustrates me because it's like you do such a good job. You build her up through the entire season. You finally reveals herself in the second to last episode, and then she gets beaten in the final one. It's like, really? Like, and Agatha's on like, don't let her get like caught. Like, let her retreat so you at least know she's out there. You don't gotta necessarily bring her right back. Well, but you at least know she's a threat somewhere out there.
Well, I mean, like you said, and again, it could just be theorizing right now, but it very well could be that she made Wanda believe that she's still doing her thing in Westview, and she could come back, or maybe something happens, like Wanda goes to a different universe and the spell's broken in this universe. I don't know. Whatever the case may be, Agatha's still here. It's not like Agatha's dead. She's still very much alive. So bring her back. Maybe there's the Scarlet Witch movie. Who knows? I don't know. They're doing a whole fucking litany of movies that don't necessarily make sense at this point. Like Black Widow, she's dead. It is far too late to release a Black Widow movie. I'm sorry. I want to see it because I'm a Marvel fan, but she doesn't have any more character development to do. She can't get better or worse. She is dead.
Right.
Unless they go into a different universe and steal Tony Stark and Romanov. Like, what are we doing?
I mean, that's the thing. Once you bring multiverse, like anything is possible.
Exactly. And then we're just getting fucking wild.
Right. Now, I know obviously the show is called WandaVision. We've been focusing a lot on that. What did you guys think of the Kree or Skrull reveal at the end?
I liked it.
Did you think that she was going to meet a Skrull, or did you think we were getting a Samuel L. Jackson cameo?
No, I didn't.
I honestly, when they said they want to meet you in the theater, I'm like, it's got to be Samuel. Like, it's got to be Fury.
Yeah, so he was heavily leaned into at that point. I didn't think it was going to be the Skrull until I realized, like, I don't think we've seen that character before. Whoever the woman was that brought her into the theater, like, I don't think we've seen that agent.
If I'm not mistaken, wasn't she the one that was helping out on the other base when she was putting the truck together? Wasn't that the same?
It's very possible. Again, so many different, like, and that's the thing I love about live TV. These people weren't wearing the same outfits they were 2 days ago. So, like, if this person did pop up before, maybe they looked a little different. Maybe they were wearing something there. Again, I have to watch it again, but if they were helping out the entire time, awesome. If maybe they just like took over that person's, persona for the day, cool. Nick Fury, not name dropped, but heavily insinuated. And after Spider-Man Far From Home,
like, he's already on. Well, he's of some time. I don't know if at this point he's on there, but he gets onto the ship eventually because
I would assume so, because she like pointed upward and was like space.
Right, but Far From Home is 7 months after this. So while yes, she's saying, "Hey, we need you up there," I don't know if Nick Fury is up there yet.
That's true.
I'm assuming so because she said it's a friend of your grandmother, but her grandmother knew a lot of Skrull too.
Yeah.
So
I would hope it's Nick Fury just because that would be cool. If not, whatever, I'll take what I can get. Now that Monica has powers, maybe I'm not going to say she's going to get her own movie. I don't think she's that important, but we'll see.
One thing though too, that you mentioned Spider-Man Far From Home, the one teacher is like obsessed with the fact that like there was like events happening with witches and stuff, and like it's in one of the things. So I'm wondering if he was talking about Westview or if that's foreshadowing something bigger further down the line between the timeline wise of now and that movie.
Well, so I think I want to just genuinely say, like, there had to have been news coverage on the fact that like a whole town disappeared, and like these people are talking to other people, and there might be like an online forum where all of these people are trying to like say like, oh, it was witches, oh, it was this, oh, it was that, and like other people are chiming in like, oh, I saw this, I saw this chicken red flying over my town as she was going to the freaking Wandagore Mountains, but in when Peter gets the Edith glasses and he's like looking at everyone's phone history, he looks at the teacher and he's looking up like witches. And then when they see all of like the villains except for Mysterio, he's like, oh, it's got to be witches, man. It's witches. Like, yeah, I love it. And I think this is I think this show is the reason that's what's right. And I need to go to Marvel Studios and just like look at the storyboard and how everything's connected, because it's got to look like Charlie Day. Just a million pieces of string and things taped to a board. Like, this is how everything connects. I promise it all works. Just figure it out. And then Kevin Feige's like, he spent 3 months in that room drawing everything out in like 2003. And they were like, all right, we just got to, you want to do what? All right. Yeah, I guess we'll figure it out. He's like, just do it. Just make it happen. I swear it's going to make you more money than anything I've ever made you money before in your life. Just do this. And he was fucking right.
I'm just excited to see Elizabeth Olsen like make that heel turn and become the villain. Like she's already
Absolutely.
shown that like don't get me wrong, in Age of Ultron, it was kind of like the campy kind of a villain. Like, okay, she's just here for a plot point and to move the story forward. But now I feel like she's really a fucking threat.
Well, now that if she's in control of her powers, she is guaranteed one of the biggest threats in the universe. She is
Right.
more than Thanos level threat. Or as Jake Gyllenhaal would say, that's an Avengers level threat. So, because I
Well,
mean, Christ, there was an entire comic. She
well when they
said no
were
more mutants, and there was fucking mutants were just disappearing. Like she can do whatever she wants.
well, that's like when Jimmy Woo and Monica were arguing in the earlier episode. Like Jimmy Woo was like, yeah, like had Thanos not just like nuked the entire battlefield, like Wanda would have killed him. like
And Wanda didn't
by
even
her
know she would have killed him.
like by herself. And now you're telling me she's stronger than the Sorcerer Supreme. And Doctor Strange pretty much took on what did he have at that point? Four of the Infinity Stones in his gauntlet?
Yeah.
Because all he needed was the time and the mind by that point, right?
Yeah.
He had all the other ones.
Yep.
So there's one, two, three.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
six
Doctor
stones.
Strange put him through the ringer. I mean,
And that was without any stones. And now you have a girl that's literally
they
has
walking
powers enhanced by a stone.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I'm excited to see what they do with her. I know it's going to be big reveal. But I don't know.
What are you going to see from going forward from all this, Jay? Deer in headlights.
At least he showed up, right?
A for effort.
God damn it. I mean, honestly, as far as I know, you and I have been talking for half hour or so now. That's really, honestly, all I've got. I look forward to covering if there is an episode next week. We'll see, or this week, whatever. Yeah, I don't know, and I can't wait to do our coverage on Falcon Winter Soldier. That's just going to be the best buddy cop TV series.
So, Jay, overall, what did you think of WandaVision from beginning to end? What were some of something you want to go and research a little bit more that may have been introduced to you? Like, I know not a lot of people know the Darkhold. Like, we got the Secret Wars movie being worked on and everything, and now we're seeing like the Skrull possibly being like the Skrull invasion, like Agatha and her past. Like, what made you curious watching the show that you're like, hey, I don't know much about that, but I want to learn more?
Huh?
Oh my God, are you awake?
No.
All right.
Kind of.
Did you like the show?
Yes. I had a hard time in the beginning with the show, the first couple episodes where it was real sitcom-y, because it was hard to get through because
Sure.
of the way they structure it.
Slow start.
Yeah, it's not even that it was slow, it was dry and it was cheesy and just I don't enjoy those old sitcoms like that. So I had a real hard time forcing myself to get through it.
Do you at least understand why they did that? Because it's what Wanda grew up watching.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's what she knew as the nuclear family in America. So she forced her family to be those families, which, whatever. I get it.
Yeah, makes sense.
I mean, yeah.
Once we got past the whole sitcom-y part, I really started to really enjoy the show. And then, like, as slowly as things started, like, progressing, I really started suspecting something was up with, what was her name? Angus?
Agatha.
Agnes?
Yeah, Agnes. But then you find out she's Agatha
Harkness.
Harkness. I thought it was Heartless for some reason.
She is
Agatha Harkness.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, I think as a team, we did a pretty good job as far as like calling out some stuff. Like we said Agatha really early on, like
You did. You guys called her out.
Yeah.
like really, really early. We got that one down. Obviously, I was wrong about Magneto. Obviously, you were wrong about Mephisto so far. I think you're right, but so far you're wrong.
He's still wrong. Don't make his head bigger.
Oh, no.
We were
Jay.
wrong about the voice being Charles Xavier. It was actually Jimmy Woo.
Jay, I called the Doctor Strange reference in the last episode. Shut the fuck up.
Don't be rude.
But yeah, I'm excited to see what they do in the future. Can't wait for all the new TV series and movies to come out in the next couple of years, and we'll be here to cover them.
I'm excited for Falcon and Arrow.
Falcon and Arrow.
Falcon and Winter Soldier. Sorry, thinking of Arrow.
God almighty.
What?
Fuck. Just ignore me.
Thinking of Arrow. You're not even in the same universe. You're in the DC television universe.
CW.
The Arrowverse. Stephen Amell. Stephen Amell.
Great dude. I love Stephen Amell.
Well, while we're on the topic, Jay, why are you thinking of Arrow? Are you doing a rewatch? Are you doing watch through for the first time?
I'm finally trying to actually finish the show. I got distracted towards the end of the series, and then just have never been able to finish it.
What season you on? Like which villain? The Dark Arrow? Was it Slade Wilson?
No, I'm in the second to last season,
Roy.
like where they're going back and forth between back in time or
Okay.
future.
That was tough
I
to
mean-
watch. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, where Felicity disappears.
Yeah.
In the future, I'm at that point.
Yeah, them ones were hard to get through, but I digress. I was just curious because honestly, that's one of my favorite TV shows. Like I know it's kind of campy for a superhero show, but I like the earlier seasons were badass.
I thoroughly enjoyed the TV show too. But what I'm trying to say is Falcon and Winter Soldier I'm excited to watch. Just because I also like Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan, I think.
Yep.
Stan's like relationship with each other. They play well together.
Absolutely.
They have very good chemistry.
Do we know where the timeline is wise on that show? Like in reference to WandaVision? Do we know if that's like going on at the same time or is it like
It has to be after Endgame. That's all I know because they have the shield.
right?
So
Eh.
that is literally as far as I got as far as timeline goes. I'm sure they'll give us more info when the series comes out, but yeah, for now, that's all I got.
Oh, I was watching the trailer for it and I found a funny little like nod to Cap in it. I don't know if you guys know this. You know the joke like on your left?
Yeah.
It's kind of a sad Easter egg, but like in one of the trailers, they show Anthony Mackie who's like walking down the street, and on the left side of him is a big portrait of Cap
Okay.
on the wall. So it's like he's still on his left.
That's awesome.
But no, other than that, I mean, final thoughts on WandaVision, guys. What did you think?
Phenomenal.
What would you rate it 1 to 10?
I'm going to give it a solid 9.5.
Jay?
Heavy.
8.
An 8?
Yeah, I hated the sitcom beginning of it, so that just takes it down for me.
I'd say a solid 9.5 as far as Marvel goes. Definitely, like if you put it together with the movies and stuff, I think it's top 5 along like out of all Marvel productions. But yeah, that was all I got.
All right, boys. That's all I got as well. We're going to wrap this one up. And yeah. Jay, what do you got for me? Nothing. All right, fantastic.
Nothing.
Guys, thank you so much for listening. We're expanding our listening base every day. Feel free to share us with your friends and family. If you don't have any friends, that's okay too. Just listen to it by yourself. Guys, seriously, like, thank you so much for listening to us. I hope you enjoyed our coverage of WandaVision. And if you had any fan theories of yourself that may or may not have come true, feel free to let us know. But for now, I'm Steve.
Mark.
I'm Jay.
And we will catch you guys next week. As always, you can check us out at Something Super Podcast on Instagram and Facebook. Shoot us an email at somethingsuperpodcast@gmail.com. And you can listen to us on any of your favorite streaming platforms. Please leave us a review. We'd love to hear them. All right, guys. Thanks again.